So this round 4 match commences with Dandenong in the green strip and Townsville in the all-white. The Fire will be feeling good coming into this game. They've been confident. They've had a very tough week on the track, Laurie. Head coach Chris Lucas, well, he can be a little bit old school. There's nothing wrong with that. They were very disappointed with their intensity last week against the Adelaide Lightning. And so making the girls work very hard on the track is probably one way to try and remedy that.
Well, the other thing, Darren, as I found out that yesterday they were supposed to leave in the morning, or yesterday, and their flight got canceled, so they actually flew in today, which would, I'm sure, add to Chris Lucas' stress levels.
And I understand that Chris is an anxious coach, isn't he? He's very intense on game days and very nervous. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I really like the way Dandenong have started so far. They're really looking at getting their feet in the paint and being aggressive.
Krista Phillips is called for an early offensive foul. The Dandenong bench are a little bit surprised by that. And this is going to be, for me, the pick of the matchups in the game. Number 5 for Townsville, Rachel Flanagan, against number 44, Kathleen McLeod, as Dandenong, Townsville rather, with an early score through Standish, one of their Americans.
Well, Darren, I think there's all sorts of great matchups to look at out there. I really like that very first one when Jen O'Hay and Jess Foley are going at each other.
Newley gives it up to Foley. She can't get around coming. Now
Smothering
Flanagan.
defense by Dandenong.
Dowdell from range misses. And here's O'Hay quickly to Cumming. Stops on a dime. She loves to do that. Shot was blocked. Now it's 3-on-3. Good transition by Krista Phillips from Dandenong to get back and mark Standish. And here's Dowdell, the other American. Spinning on Downey, big help. Comes across. It was Phillips. That's that smothering defense Laurie was talking about. McLeod normally doesn't think twice. She must have seen something she liked. Pretty lax closeout from... Yeah, it will, but it was a pretty lax closeout, I thought, from Dowdell, and Dandenong lead by 5.
Well, I think when she drove baseline there, I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication that they were going to switch that or not, but she was left wide open on that baseline.
Beautiful pass from Foley to Flanagan. She was open for a second. Rims out and they'll have another crack. Hectic pace to start this game. Newley had the haircut in the off-season and not helping her shooting early doors. McLeod going against one of the best defenders in the WNBA in Rachel Flanagan, but she's pretty talented, McLeod.
Well, she's got all the gifts, doesn't she? We see her go all the way to the basket. We know she's got a great long-range shot, and now she's, you know, that pull-up. It's tough to defend that.
Newley going baseline. It was ambitious against Downey. This has been a great defensive start for Mark Wright's side. Can they keep this intensity up? Or are they just trying to knock Townsville out in the opening quarter, Laurie? It seems to me that's a bit what they're trying to do.
Jen O'Hay is so deceptive. We can see her bringing the ball. She looks like she's going to pass it, and then she just turns on the burners and goes straight to the basket.
Chris Lucas from Townsville wants to talk about it. 6 minutes 54 to go in the first. Dandenong have made a great start. Here's Townsville coach Chris Lucas.
Well, we're getting reasonable shots, but get to our floor spots and execute, move the ball, okay, move the defenders, and we'll get decent shots with it. D-trans, way to get on the eyeglass, Ben. D-trans and match and split out of the keyway and get to your matchups, okay? Trans D, okay, get the ball, pick up, claps in, and then pick up, okay? Be aware of the press here, okay, possibly 1-2-2 or full court man with sandwich, okay? Offensively, just run our stuff. Let's look at, here we'll go 1D, we're going Rover. 1D, Rover, okay, Mia's up. Yep, okay, let's go.
1, 2, 3, fire!
So Chris Lucas and the Fire just wanting to hold the momentum, and it's a big thing with Dandenong, Laurie. When you've got a potent offensive side, you've got to find a way to just haul them back in when they're away, as they are early here.
Well, they've really got their running game happening, and defensive transition for Townsville is so important, because if Dandenong gets some easy baskets, it just makes their life so much easier than if they have to grind away. So they're looking at pushing the ball at every opportunity.
And here is the star. She misses with the first. She's played 2 games back in Australia since returning from the WNBA, the semi-finals. The LA Sparks, sorry, the Western Conference Finals, the LA Sparks, her team were knocked out in.
Sorry, Darren, I was just going to say that's one area, probably the one area I can pick from Dandenong where they are lacking, and that's in their foul shooting, only 60%.
Flanagan for 3. Great shot from the corner from the veteran, playing her 252nd WNBL game. Phillips made sure that Melissa Andriola saw that one. I don't know what she made her see, but she made her see something, contact. Well, not quite sure what happened there, Laurie, that was illegal, but she went over. Your mate?
My mate, yes.
Yep. She had the Olympic rings tattooed on her right wrist, and she missed with that. Good scrapping from O'Hay. It's going to be a Townsville ball. O'Hay was out of court when she was touching the ball.
Well, Darren, we anticipated that this game would be physical and fast-paced, and so far, certainly that's been the case.
And this is what Dandenong love to do. They love to get up the court and harass, and because they bat so deep, they can do that. They can afford to have their starters expend some pretty serious energy, and Mark Wright will continue to go with it whilst it's working. But Dowdell trying to get some momentum back for the Fire with that basket, her first in the match. McLeod, she loves that move. Well, she's already scored with it once, but not the second time.
Well, as I say, it's hard to defend. All your momentum's going backwards when you're defending her, and then she's pulling up so quickly.
Beautiful dish from Newley into Standish. It was a lovely move. There's great vision. And the foul was before that basket from Kayla Standish.
And I'm sure Darren Standish is going to get better and better as the weeks go by. We see that she's subbing out right now, but she's new to this competition, and it does take a little bit of time to find your feet and the tempo of the game and the way the referees call it.
Doing pretty well, the American. 9 points and 5 rebounds, her averages through the first 3 weeks. Give you some more information about her as the match progresses. This is Olivia Thompson, the South Australian. Her first season out of the AIS. Missing with that basket. She's been productive for the Fire in their first few games. She's now guarding a fellow AIS graduate, Sarah Blickarves, who makes the catch and makes the basket. Hasn't she been a weapon? 2
athletes, pure athletes, going head to head.
Great work from Phillips with the interception. Got it to McLeod, who went herself.
That's great to see Phillips getting active defensively. We think of her defensively rebounding, but not so much getting steals or deflections.
Newley, great pace around the corner. Great game wherever you're watching it, live on ABC Grandstand's website or through ABC Television, our Saturday afternoon replay. This is Jenna O'Hay.
Wow. There is some high-quality basketball being played out there right now. The defense is good. The offense is just better.
O'Hay with her first field goal. Great cut from Thompson, and Cox found her with the pass.
Sarah Blickarves just completely lost sight of her on that backdoor cut.
We're on world record pace at the moment, 16-11, just over halfway through the first quarter. Newley guards O'Hay. Now they switch, and this is a mismatch if they can look at Phillips. But O'Hay is so unselfish. Blitzarves. Again, perfectly timed offense. McLeod ran into her own man, allowed Flanagan a free shot, but she couldn't capitalise. Cumming looks at McLeod, who was wide open if she was on the money with the pass. But O'Hay is wide open. You've got to find her in transition. And they catch a break, Townsville, because that was lax.
Well, it was that defensive transition that they were trying to address. Dandenong are just being relentless in the way that they get that rebound and push up the floor. And they lose nothing, Darren, when they make any subs. Tegan Cunningham coming in now. Well, we know her scoring prowess.
Their most productive offensive player in the final series last year, Tegan Cunningham, pulled them out of some really difficult spots. And here we go, Dandenong just continuing to fill it up. They're shooting the ball at 56%. Townsville not bad at 45%. They just haven't had as many opportunities. Michaela Cox is fouled.
Those two guarding each other. They both played at Sandringham during the Siebel competition, so they would know each other very well.
She's got a lot of ball initially, but Cox was strong enough to rip through and convince the referee that she was attempting a field goal. Had a great debut year in the WNBL. Michaela Cox averaging double figures in points. One of a handful of fire players. She spent most of the season as part of their starting five.
It's good to see Nicole Romeo, number 14, getting some early minutes with Townsville.
O'Hay, it's in and out. Newley climbed highest. Now they've got a 4-on-2. They've got to use this. Newley probably should have gone herself in the end. She was caught in two minds, Laurie. You could see her thinking about it as she ran down the court. She wanted to give it.
Yeah, she probably made her decision just a little bit too late. Probably just needed to go defense, you know, take it hard and try and draw the foul.
Long stint for Phillips. Over 7 minutes on court. She has a rest and Newley immediately capitalises. 20-15, Dandenong in the lead. 2.5 to go. Fantastic opening quarter here at the Dandenong Basketball Stadium. Blitzarves. Climbing high was Mitrovic, but she wasn't able to reel it in. The Dandenong player there on screen, 19 years of age. O'Hay couldn't suck Newley in, and it doesn't matter.
That was a sweet little move from Jenna O'Hay.
She was good enough just to go up and over the top. Oh, well done by Newley. That was sensational. So athletic. She was quickly off the mark to reel in an errant pass as we have a look at Jenna O'Hay's effort down the other end. But Newley reeled in that errant pass and somehow, whilst falling out of court, was able to throw it against O'Hay's body.
Presence of mind to throw it against O'Hay.
They couldn't capitalise on it though, Townsville. And O'Hay carves them up.
She has got amazing court vision. She plays at such a high level of intensity, yet she can see the floor and see the open player, and is so unselfish.
I know we're only 8.5 minutes into the quarter here, Laurie. It's only round 4, but I reckon she's better. McLeod.
Yeah, she looks, you know, last year when she started the season, for the first half of the season, she just looked a little bit injured and you know, not quite as fit, but she's come back from the WNBA just ready to set this league on fire again.
She's inbounding here. Clydesdale will receive it, the youngster. Gives it off to another youngster. Very young lineup at the moment with Mitrovic, Clydesdale and also Blitzarves out on the court, 3 teenagers. Mark Wright, the coach, directing traffic.
That seems to be the role for Amy Clydesdale at the moment. Just coming on in the last minute or minute and a half of the quarter, giving Kath McLeod a bit of a longer break over the her minutes in the quarter break.
5 seconds on the shot clock. She's got to get busy, Amy Clydesdale.
And that's what she does.
just dribble, dribble, dribble with a little layup at the end to cap it all off. Here's Standish. 26 to 15. What a start from the Rangers. But they can run hot and cold. So Townsville must stay composed. Dandenong on a 6-point run at the moment. That's a soft foul. She can't believe it, Tegan Cunningham. She was... I'm not sure how religious she is, Laurie, but she certainly was just commenting. I think it was a religious comment she just made anyway. Something about God, she said, but she's very upset. 2 fouls, and that one, as we said, it's a long way from the basket. Cox driving, dishes to Foley, that's bread and butter. 22 seconds left in the quarter. So Clydesdale will slow it down and try and give the Rangers the last shot. Who'll be the go-to? O'Hay
just running
or Blitzards?
flats where you can see she's just going to take her player one-on-one.
Amy's going herself. She pulls up, thought she was Kathleen McLeod. And there's a foul. Is it going to be costly? It will be.
It will be. She goes to the line with 5 team fouls.
And only 7/10 of a second on the clock. So that is a really poor foul from Dandenong. I thought that the previous one wasn't a great one. That is, what, 80 feet from the basket, Laurie? And it could be costly if Michaela Cox, who's a great free throw shooter, can nail these.
Just send the momentum going Townsville's way into the quarter time break.
And Cox does make them both. So Dandenong won't even get a shot attempt away. And it has been a sensational quarter of basketball here at the Dandenong Basketball Stadium. And the home side, the Rangers, lead Townsville 26 to 19. Jenna O'Hay has been one of the stars of this opening quarter. 5 points, 3 assists, and a couple of rebounds as we have a look at the team numbers. Laurie Chiswick.
Well, Darren, a couple of things really stick out to me. One, the number of, or lack of number of threes that are being taken. So they're really looking at getting inside, taking those inside perimeter shots, and both shooting at a great percentage. The other thing I really like is the turnover count and the assist count. All right, they're keeping those turnovers down, and both teams have good numbers of assists and are working well together.
Let's have a look at the highlights from the opening quarter. You mentioned how happy you were with the way Dandenong started, both defensively but also offensively, pumping the ball inside.
Well, really, their transition or Townsville's lack of defensive transition, I thought was noticeable this that first quarter. They really looked to push. They hit whatever player was open, and they really took some driving lanes inside. Townsville, though, they never let them get out of reach at all. They just are playing a game. They'll settle into it, and they've had lots of good options as well, Darren.
Well, we mentioned that Townsville need to stay with it. I'm thinking back to the Bendigo game a fortnight ago when Dandenong were on fire early. They led Bendigo by 10 points at quarter time. They led by 7 at half time. But they went stone cold in the second half. And they can do that. They shot worse than 25% in the second half of that game, and Bendigo came over the top of them. They are susceptible to a structured team staying disciplined and staying in their face. Like Townsville are capable of at their best.
Well, and that's why Dandenong love that run and gun style of game, and it's something that Townsville, if they can get into a grind, a quarter-court game. Standish makes the basket. She's a handy player, Standish. This is the first time I've seen her, and I like some of the things she's doing out there.
(34 to 24). Dandenong leading. Lovely stuff.
too easy. Townsville's got to be a bit more accountable.
And Foley, wow. You don't say that all that often. I mean, you do when I'm having shots in the warm-up, but not so much when Jess Foley has the ball in her hands.
Actually, I saw Jacob, our producer, shooting beforehand, and yeah, a few air balls there too.
Yeah. Not sure about the style either. The technique could probably use a little bit of work. McLeod slashes to the basket and will head to the line.
The thing Townsville have to avoid right now, Darren, is that scoreboard pressure, the fact that they're down now by 12. They can't just come down at the offensive end and just shoot something up quickly. They have to be patient. They have to show some poise out there, get it through hands, and get some good shot options.
Kathleen McLeod makes the first. She had 19 points and 10 assists in their win over the West Coast Waves last weekend. And at 14, it's the biggest lead of the game. Standish. Not sure that she's missed yet. Well, she has. She's 3 of 4 for her 6 points. But pretty good start.
Very nice looking shot she has.
Dandenong, the team, are looking superb, and they do that so well. Phillips, when she's on, she can be a dominant presence. 5 assists to McLeod, 8 points to Krista Phillips. Standish, again looking the goods.
And they're getting her the ball. They're putting it into her hand. She's got the hot hand right now. Give it to her.
They keep the lead at 12. McLeod, too quick. And she is so confident. She backs herself every time in that situation. And her coach, Mark Wright, wants to have a chat about things. Well, I expect he'd be pretty happy. His side lead it by 14. So when we get a chance, when Mark Wright wants to address his team, we will be eavesdropping on them. 42-28 is the score.
Defensively, Standish at the moment is catching and shooting from her distance, which is like 12 to 15 feet. So, who's got Standish at the moment? Who's got Standish?
Oh, me.
You're in the 5 spot.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay. Well, why don't you take Thompson for a bit? Yeah, why don't you take Standish? Okay. Now, wouldn't that be a Newly?
You take Molly.
Oh, okay. So offensive, yeah, okay. Penetration-wise, they can't guard us. If they come out in a zone here, going to overload, it's going to overload. It's when we run the double screen, the post double screen at the top.
Yeah. If you penetrate, kick down that screen.
I passed it to our way.
Let's go, we're up. Let's go.
You can.
Get it back.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Rangers. Hey, keep your hand.
So the Rangers return to the court, 5.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. There's a little bit of confusion on their bench with the coaches and the players, with some of the plays that they're calling, but it's all smiles when you lead by 14.
Oh my goodness, how relaxed is Mark Wright coaching right now?
Kathleen McLeod makes the back end of the three-point play, and they lead by 15. Biggest of the game. Lovely cut. Newley got it to Cox for the basket.
Very simple basketball. If your defender turns your head, give them the ball.
Coming. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Steph coming. Like Kathleen McLeod, enjoys driving and stopping and elevating. She couldn't finish with the same success. And Standish for 3!
Whoa. Now, Mark Wright, we heard him say that her distance was 12 to 15. Well, that three-point shot looked pretty nice to me.
Kayla Standish has 11 points. A little bit of zone here from Townsville. Got to communicate. They felt that was a problem with them last week. And you've got to protect the middle. I don't know, Laurie. That's what it looked like. That was a breakdown. Tell us what happened.
Well, some coaches, most coaches say take away the middle, but certainly in that zone, you don't want to let them, you want to force a long outside shot, don't let it get inside.
So I was right.
Maybe.
Maybe, okay.
It just sounds funny coming from you, that's all.
For those of you playing at home, Laurie's been trying to teach me some of the tricks of the trade for a few years now. And
problem is you think you're a coach now, yeah.
Not sure about that. Newley elevates. Foley collects the rebound for Townsville. They'll have another chance. Fresh 24 seconds. Kayla Cox has three-point range, but it's tough to shoot over.
Nice
Phillips
read.
was lovely.
That was just a good read and a good dive by Thompson. Miscommunication defensively.
O'Hay again forces her way inside. Scrapping, that's going to be a Dandenong ball. Unfortunately for Standish, it came off her heel. And Mark Wright wants to talk about things again. Townsville are making a bit of a run. They've scored 7 points to just 2 since that last time out in the last 2 minutes of play.
You left your player and went out to the hand. Sander, you're going to drive the rules, and we don't get people slipping and getting easy. They're getting layups. You got to fight through it, mate. You just cannot stop at a pick. Get through it. Gee whiz, that's it. Embarrassing. You give it, mate, up a little bit high. Out of this now, out of the zone, run a stack. So go inbound it. Cat, Steph, Teague, Krista. Krista's here, Teague, and you're at the back. You go this way, to the shooter's corner. You push forward into the hole, and Tegan, you drop back and you throw that back. Against the zone, in front, get 3 low. So get your 4, get your 5, get your 3, your 2, and your 1 here. Get reversal, pop out here, and dive. We're always running the guy from here into the hole. Okay? You understand this? Yep. So we end up with a baseline man ball side and a high man.
So I'm popping out and then coming up?
Yeah, whoever's down there goes. Go, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Come on, guys.
Dandenong coach Mark Wright. Coming up at half-time, I'll go one-on-one with Rachel Flanagan, the Townsville Fire captain who played her 250th game last week. Stay tuned for that. 3.5 minutes to go in the second term, and Dandenong lead it by 10. 45-35, Jim McLeod. It's too easy when you can get a player in the air like that, Laurie. She's got 17.
That was a bit of a rookie mistake, I think, by Thompson.
Standish. Step through was illegal. Too many steps. You'd probably be allowed to do that in America. 1.
No, in fact, they don't look at that step through very favorably.
Okay. She's from Gonzaga University. We've produced a number of good players over the years, but one of the greatest point guards of all time, Laurie. Maybe people on our Twitter can let us know, at ABC WNBL, if you know who I'm referring to. And I'm not referring to a woman, I'm referring to a man. At ABC WNBL is our Twitter handle. Get in contact through this right throughout the season about anything you see on our coverage or anything going on around the league that's unlucky. And whilst I'm posing some questions, I might have one in the second half as well, Laurie. At the moment, I'm thinking about a point guard who went to Gonzaga and became one of the greatest NBA players of all time. But why not just get a question about the WNBA and about Erin Phillips a little bit later on? We'll have a chat about that in the second half.
Game's really sort of slowed its tempo down right now. Not much scoring action from either team. Two minutes 20
Left in the second term, too easy for Foley to intercept that one. Does she have enough help? No, she decides to wait. Flanagan doesn't want the three. Standish is hot. That's a tough shot. Downey had best position for the rebound. Coming, loves these. Since the last time out, a minute and a half ago, Townsville have not scored. Dandenong have added a couple of baskets to re-establish a 15-point lead.
And again, that last basket came out of transition, just pushing the ball up the floor, and Steph Cumming, we know, just runs so hard every single time.
4 seconds on the shot clock, they've got to go. Mismatch, Dowdell will be disappointed not to make that. Who's running for Dandenong? It's Steph Cumming, it's Jenna O'Hay. McLeod wants to go herself. Phillips trailing for the rebound, not required.
What a half Kathleen McLeod is having.
8 of 10 from the field, 19 points, 5 assists for the Dandenong point guard. MVP of the grand final last year. A minute to go until halftime. Flanagan pushing O'Hay and holding O'Hay illegally.
I think she didn't want to take her down, let her take her down into the block, because there was a mismatch, and Jenna O'Hay is very potent.
Heavily. The Canadian will go to the line.
Krista Phillips is looking really good. She looks fit. She's doing things that we didn't necessarily see her do last year, as far as run the floor that much and get in position to be able to sustain the intensity that she starts a game with. And she's been able to do that so far this season, and very impressive.
She misses with that attempt. She's got 10 points, 8 rebounds in the match. She didn't quite average a double-double last season, Krista Phillips. She averaged 11 points and about 7 rebounds, rather. Well done by Cox. She kept that alive.
Good communication by Kathy McLeod. Steph was hesitating whether to go into that trap, and she called her over, and they were very successful at it.
Foley gives it up to Newley. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Well done. Love a little pass inside, and Phillips tries to claim the foul. Was she successful? She was. Didn't want Steph Cumming to be called for the foul because she's already got a couple. Further foul probably would have sent her to the bench. So Kayla Standish, they've been Townsville's best player through the opening half of this match. That's her first miss from the free throw line this season. Was 4 of 4 up to that point. Second one looked pretty good. Still a 20-point margin. It's a long bridge to span for Townsville. Both of these sides with tough weekends. Townsville have got to front up against Bulleen on Saturday night at the Bendigo Club. Dandenong have got to make the road trip to Bendigo and take on the undefeated Spirit, who taught them a thing or two a fortnight ago.
It'll be interesting because now this is Dandenong. That'll be Dandenong's second leg of a road trip in Bulleen, and Bendigo will just be sitting and waiting for them. So the roles are certainly reversed in this game too.
Well, that's right. The inverse was true a fortnight ago. Bendigo had a last gasp victory over the Bulleen Boomers in a televised match. As pretty good offense from Townsville. And they came in. Dandenong was sitting, lying in wait. And they weren't prepared for the four-quarter onslaught that Bendigo provided. Christy Harrower and Gabe Richards, their best. Well done by O'Hay, 12 points now.
That was really smart by Krista Phillips. She was on the baseline, and she saw that there was a bit of a mismatch with O'Hay, and she wanted to go at it alone, and so she just cleared right out. Gave her some space.
O'Hay climbs high, gets involved in the rebounding contest, wants to give it up to McLeod. Now finds Cumming. push from Phillips. Sometimes she gets a little bit lazy, Laurie. It seems to me that when she's got a smaller opponent, which she generally does in this league, she just sort of pushes them, and the smart players feel the pressure and they make the referees see it.
Yeah, that's a crucial. Is that her third foul or second? It's her second foul.
Her second. But she did have foul problems last year. Oh, hey, can't collect it. Whose balls it going to be? It's going to be a Townsville ball, which is a little bit unlucky for O'Hay, but it's just a great read, isn't it?
I thought she was gone when she got her hand to that.
She does look fit. She does look confident, and I really wonder what the last 6 months have been like for her since that WNBA championship, her second in a row.
Well, I thought she might come back a little bit fatigued once, you know, being with the Olympics and then the WNBA and her team going a little ways into the finals, but she looks as fresh as anything.
And as you said, seemingly injury-free as well, which has not been the case. It certainly wasn't the case last year. Good read from Foley. She can't collect it, but it is going to be their ball. It must have come off Blitzarves.
As it rolled between her legs, it must have just caught her ankle.
62-42, 5 minutes 45 to go in the third. Townsville in control. It's been a dominant display thus far from Dandenong. Call it a pass from Cox to Dowdell.
Not sure what the statisticians call that, Darren.
Cox falls over, gives a pass to O'Hay, but Mitrovic can't collect it. Well, she's lucky.
Dandenong are just telegraphing their passes at the moment. They just need to be wary of that. Townsville are able to get a few deflections, hands to it.
Trying to tie Standish in knots. Succeeds. The quarter have already committed 14 fouls. If Townsville can be efficient from the foul line and draw some opportunities, they are right in this game. Dowdell does her best work close to the basket.
I'm impressed with Townsville right now. They're making really hard cuts. They're making really good decisions. They're not panicking. They know they're cutting this margin back, and there's still plenty of time in this game.
They have not been this close since the opening 24 seconds of the second quarter. O'Hay gets blocked by Foley. Now Dowdell runs the floor. Thompson is there as well. They slow it up. 4 minutes to go. Dandenong 81, Townsville 73.
This would be huge, a basket here.
Dowdell will go to work against Cunningham, or she should have. She really should have gone to the rack then, I reckon, Laurie. You're nodding your head. I don't want to cross over to the role of the expert. I was looking for some...
Sorry, Darren,
You're caught up in the game.
I am. You know, when it's just this dilemma or this intrigue when there's this much time left and, you know, it's still an 8-point game. This could...
It's in and out from Foley. Great blocking out from O'Hay. She read that it was a long rebound. Gives it up to Blitzer. Blocked by Foley. This is great basketball. Entertaining. Up and down the floor. It's not Tegan Cunningham's night. She's going to have a seat. Steph Cumming returns to the game. It's going to be a Dandenong ball. 18 seconds on the shot clock. 3.5 minutes to go.
Darren, you can see how Dandenong are still pushing the ball with a sense of urgency. Oh, they should have come up with that ball, Townsville.
Blitzarves, not a great shot choice. Well done by Flanagan. Have they spent too many petrol tickets getting back in this game? They've trailed by 21. It's now 8, and they're coming. They've scored the last 8 points in a row. And there's a foul inside against Olivia Thompson. That hurts. She was fighting for position. A taller player. She towers over Kathleen McLeod. And
well, and you know what? When a taller player is being guarded by a shorter one, it's just, you're so certain you're going to get the ball, and I think she did. She hooked.
great pass, O'Hay into coming. That'll settle them.
It will settle them, and it'll take the wind out of the sails for Townsville.
That's why Mark Wright's sub-Steph coming back in the game, you feel, to be able to help his team settle, as they can't believe that Downey's called for the foul. Let's have another look. Well, we couldn't quite see it. She's operating, well, not quite above the rim, but certainly above our camera angle there. She's so athletic, Alison Downey.
Well, she has a huge wingspan as well.
So Flanagan can keep the margin close enough. Still no Krista Phillips on the Dandenong bench. And heavy blocking out, Downey and Thompson. Downey not liking the treatment. Not playing Aussie rules footy, Alison Downey. She has played a bit of Aussie rules footy. She just, after that little altercation, got up and bumped Olivia Thompson. It's not generally allowed in the game of basketball.
Just a veteran and a rookie, just letting her know her place.
2 minutes 36 to go. Blocking foul called on Jess Foley as O'Hay closed in on the basket. It's going to result in a couple of free throws to Jenna O'Hay, as Chris Lucas wants to talk about things for Townsville. Jess Foley saying to the ref, look out for a fend off. It's too late now, Jess. Your team's still battling uphill. You trail by 8.
Livy, go opposite to Kayla. Okay, Mick, you got the ball. Jess, you're on the cat. Who's guarding you? Hey? Yeah. Mia, you go up high. Jess, you go to the corner. Okay, Mick, I want you to hit that. Hit Mia. Okay, and then I want you to come on, set that up. Kayla, screen that. Okay, we're going back to Mick on the 3.
If they switch, look at
They switch, you're going to be wide open on the rim.
And look at the press break as well. They might want to.
Okay. All right, you got that? So Mick's making a pass. She's flaring for the 3. Okay, get on the O glass. Okay, get on the O glass and stop here. Stop here. Let's go.
Dandenong 83, Townsville 75. 2 minutes 34 to go. Chris Lucas.